Is the OSEE LILMON 5 the best on-camera monitor for your camera rig? We're gonna open it up, set it up, take a look, and then I'll have some thoughts about it. But I do love the OSEE products. I reviewed the 21.5-inch studio monitor, and that's fantastic. So if it's anything like that monitor, I think this OSEE LILMON 5 is actually gonna be pretty great. Now, if you're new here, my name is Caleb, and I do a ton of content about LUMIX cameras. And if that's something you're interested in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get all this plastic off. Some reading material. Oh, this is nice. So it comes with a bracket for the shoe mount. Now, right out of the box, it's pretty lightweight. It's a plastic case on here. I like that it comes with the shoe mount on here so that you don't have to worry about having a separate mount for the monitor. So on the back, you have the HDMI in, HDMI out, the battery pack, obviously. And then here's a little spot for the power. On the bottom of the monitor, you have the SD card slot and a thread for any other type of monitor mount, or if you want to put it on a stand. Then on this side right here, you have another cold shoe mount, and then this probably unscrews from the side if you have another thread that you need in there. Then obviously the power button. So this little metal knob is actually kind of hard to tighten. It does have a little flathead screwdriver part on there, so that you are definitely going to need to use, especially with my fat fingers. I cannot tighten this thing up. You might just want to keep that tight so that it doesn't loosen up, because that's kind of a struggle right there. And on this side, you're going to have the headphone jack, the RS232, and then a battery out, which is a really interesting side right there. And on the top, you have a vent. And then also a fake vent. Oh no, wait, that might actually be a real vent. And you have a little baggie here with like washers in it. All right, I'm gonna get it set up on the GH6, and I'm just gonna use this cold shoe mount on here. And I think that's probably gonna be the easiest way to go about doing it, rather than, I did have like another monitor mount ready to go just in case, but I like the fact that it comes with this, you know, this angled arm right here. However, I will say this, that with this setup like this, the monitor is actually pretty close to the back of the camera. Sometimes I like my monitors forward just a little bit more than what I'm showing right here, but it tightens up nice. And if you don't have another monitor mount, well, it's perfect. It's just gonna go right on the top of your camera in the shoe mount. I'm gonna go with the battery. It does not come with a battery, so you do need to have like these, you know, NP style batteries laying around to power the monitor. And it is a 4K HDMI port, so I'm thinking that the 4K 60 is gonna be working here. So we'll get that plugged in, and then get this HDMI plugged into the GH6. Now that's kind of interesting. I do kind of like it coming off the back of the monitor right there, rather than sticking off to the side. It kind of gets this cord kind of out of the way of the side of the rig. But I'm thinking that if I have any type of like rail system here with a follow focus or anything like that, that cord might start getting in the way of that. So you might just be able to kind of tuck it in and just kind of angle your cord like that. Maybe, I don't know. Let's power it up, see what happens. And get the camera on as well. All right. OSEE. Swift operating system. All right, looks good. Now I am in a natural color profile on the GH6, so I'm just going to actually go to, a vlog color profile on there. There we go. All right, so it's giving basically the same type of image that I get on the actual camera monitor. So I was doing a live stream with this camera, so I'm actually at 30 frames. So I'm actually going to take it to, I'm actually going to go to just a quick check on the 60 frames per second to see if that works. And sometimes these monitors, especially, you know, the more affordable monitors, they don't work with the 4K 60 from the camera into the monitor, so you can actually monitor that. So let's see. And I am currently at 4K 60 on the GH6, and I am still getting an image on the monitor. So it looks like it's giving me a 60p image up on the monitor, and I can monitor my 4K 60 with this monitor if I choose to shoot in 4K 60. But I'm gonna go back to 24 frames per second. Now, one of the things that you need to watch for a little bit with these monitors is just a little bit of a delay in, you know, the response time if you're moving your camera around, stuff like that, so that if you're doing some run and gun type stuff and you need to, you know, check focus and everything. I'm just gonna hold this up. Let's see if there's a little bit of a delay. There is. It's microseconds, but there is just a little bit of a delay. I don't know if you can see it on this angle right here, but you can see just a little bit of a delay on that monitor, which isn't the end of the world, right? I mean, especially if you're on a tripod or something like that and you're not doing a lot of movement, that's not gonna be a big deal at all. But if you are doing a lot of running gun type stuff, that might be something to kind of take into consideration as you're looking at monitors. So one of the things when you get a new monitor is just kind of learning the layout of how that monitor works. And maybe there's different symbols that represent different things on one monitor from the other. I mean, even the same monitor. This doesn't even look the same as the big 21.5 inch, but it looks like I have a settings right here that I can click, and then I can go through, and it is touchscreen. So I can go through and look at some of these different settings on here. So you are able to, with the SD card, load on your own LUTs. You can change the brightness of the screen. Now remember, this is 1000 nits, so that is pretty bright, and you shouldn't have any issues while you're outside. But if you need to change the backlight on that, you can do that. And obviously, if you go up as high as possible, it's probably going to give you less life on the battery. So out of the box, it came at 8, so I'll just leave it there. So you can go through here and set different ratios as well. 237, a custom one that you can set vertical, which actually takes the edges off, and then you can go and set the opacity. And, you know, if you still need those sides, need to see the framing for a different cut, like a horizontal cut, you can set the opacity to different percentages. So a lot of this is kind of going through and learning the settings. You can tap on the screen to get rid of all those settings and just monitor the whole image. Tap it to get some of those settings back. All right, so let's go into this plus. It looks like you can add some different things to the quick menu. You can add or take away some of these different options that the monitor brings. So I just put on the waveform, and that just popped it up to the corner up there. False color. I love false color, so I'm gonna keep that on my quick menu. I think I'm gonna take off this safe mode. I'm gonna take off this center point, and I'm gonna take off the crosshatch just to clean up my menu just a little bit here. It has the magnification for anamorphic. I don't shoot a lot of anamorphic, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. There we go. Now I have my quick menu set to where I can tap on, tap off the false color, tap on, tap off the waveform real quick. Now this is kind of cool. This is a multi-scope option. So if you want multiple scopes on, like a waveform vector, those types of things, then you can put multiple scopes on there and you're still able to monitor your image. You know what, that's a little messy for me, so I'm actually gonna take that off. Okay, one of the things I just discovered is you can change the brightness of the screen just by kind of swiping down or up, kind of in this top left corner. And so obviously there's a few more things to learn about this monitor and kind of getting the menu system down and loading your LUTs, different things like that you'd want to do. But for the price of this monitor, I mean, this looks like a great monitor. And I just want to say thank you to OSEE for sending it my way to test out. And you'll probably see it in some other future videos, but I wanted to get it out of the box. I wanted to get it set up, and I wanted to take just a quick look at it to see if this is something that would be good for people who want to build out their cinema rig and not spend a ton of money on some of these accessories. But I love the OSEE brand, and I think this, from what I can tell, looks like a really good on-camera monitor. So really everything that you would need to get started, this monitor has it. If you have any questions about this monitor, jump down into the comments, let me know, we can get a conversation started down there. Now, I totally love building cinema rigs, and if you want to see a super compact cinema rig for the LUMIX S5 II, make sure you check out this video that's popping up on your screen right here. It's got some great accessories in there, and if you're a nerd like me, you're gonna love it.